Hi guys, this is Radhika here again. I hope you all are doing well. This video is about how empowered codependents can become authentic, grounded people. So basically, empowered people who are self aware, who can regulate their own energy, emotions, and basically live life with a balance that is so hard to achieve. So some time back I had made a video called as how codependents can become covert narcissists. So this video is kind of like a juxtaposition to that. It's a juxtaposing view that how a codependent can become a covert narcissist. Similarly, a codependent also has the potential to become a self-aware individual who is grounded as well as imaginative. Basically, you want to try to make yourself balanced from all the different directions. So if you catch yourself, if you have been in a covert narcissistic situation or a narcissistic situation, and a lot of times what happens is, because we have been near such people for such a long time, um, as I say in a lot of videos, we all are one and we all are energy, and it's very difficult to see it. We don't see it with our eyes, but you must have observed that when people start living together, or when a group of friends comes together, they all kind of take on certain behaviors, and those behaviors are within that particular group. And maybe when this person is out of this group, they might behave a completely different way. So it's basically, you take on an energy when you are around certain people. You take on those emotions, you take on those point of views, you take on a particular way of talking. You take on, maybe you have always been the joker in this group, so you are always a joker in that group. And so these things happen, and at the subtlest level, what is happening is, you are taking on someone's energy. So it's not just empaths who do this, it's a lot of people around the world who do this, because a lot of times we are not sure um, of just, should we just be ourselves, or should we simply fit in and try to behave like how these other 10 people are behaving. And there's all these questions, so most of the time the easiest way is just to fit in, because that way you become, a part of the group. So what happens is, when you are near narcissists for a prolonged period of time, you take on a lot of habits from the narcissist. You take on a lot of their behaviors, a lot of the patterns that they have, a lot of their thinking, and much of this happens without you actually noticing it. So if you catch yourself behaving like a covert narcissist, examples are like this feeling that, oh, I do so much for everyone and no one does anything for me. No one cares about me. No one listens to me. I deserve so much better. So and so should have listened to what I said because I was right. Now they are paying for it. So all these kind of behaviors are very, very covert narcissistic behaviors, and we might take them on to a large extent, like we might feel so for everyone, or we might feel so in certain situations. Um, and if you have been near a covert narcissist, you might have like a huge ego. You feel that only your point of view is correct. You want to always prove that you are right. And you have this attitude like, only I know what is correct, only I am supremely intelligent, everyone else is a little bit, like not that good in the intellectual department, and you have to prove your point. You have to have the last word. You have to have the upper hand in, like, even the smallest of things. You have to have the upper hand. So if you see that you are taking on some of these behaviors, you can stop yourself right over there. So to do this, you have to be very self aware. You have to realize that you have to give up the attachment you have to your behaviors, to your thinking, to your habits, because these are not yours. A lot of time, the things we think are ours are things we have picked up from other people, but we don't realize that. We feel like this is who I am. That's how we define ourselves. That is my habit. That is what I do. That is what I eat. And a lot of time, these are just things that we kind of grew up with, or our friends had it, or at some point we thought this was a good thing to do. And so we did it, and then we repeatedly continued it. But do we really have some attachment to it? Did we come with this when we were born? Is it like an inbuilt part of who we are? Not really. So if you're self aware, you will keep on thinking about all these things, and then once you notice this behavior in yourself, you might be able to stop it right there. Because a lot of narcissism is passed down to generations. Of course, there must be someone who in the beginning became a narcissist because of some, maybe it was like a brain wiring issue, or I don't know what it was. But basically, I do see this because I have seen in narcissistic families, the scapegoat usually might become like an addict or a covert narcissist sometimes, or maybe they're empowered and they start learning about this thing. If they don't learn about it, then they become a covert narcissist, which is very common. And if they are a golden child, they might become an overt narcissist. And then there are all the other categories, like one sibling might be the enabler, one sibling might be absent completely, that I don't want to, be a part of this, so they hardly ever show up. And all these patterns, they continue. So yeah, so if you catch yourself, that is a great place, because now you have the chance to, kind of change your behaviors. I wouldn't even say correct them, because correct gives the sense that something was wrong, something that you were doing were wrong. But it was not wrong because you did not know about it. It's simply that the awareness was not present. And when the awareness is there, your awareness expands, right? Your consciousness expands, and that's a very natural process. You don't have to do anything for it. All you have to do is make yourself aware. And once you make yourself aware, it just seeps through. It seeps through your intellect, through your cells, through your brain, through your emotions, through your body, and automatically the change begins. It's not even like you have to do anything by yourself. Automatically your brain will start telling you, maybe I should not judge, maybe I should not, and all that, it will come out naturally. So the important thing is being aware. So yeah, so if you become aware, you can change these behaviors. If you do not become aware, then I can pretty much guarantee you that if you have been feeling like if you have been acting like a covert narcissist, in 10 years down the line, you will become a covert narcissist. And if you have been acting like an overt narcissist, where you're always trying to push your point, stand your ground, like now, I know if you are a scapegoat, you have to stand your ground, but there's a difference. If you get into that compulsive desire to make everyone accept what you are saying, you will become into an overt narcissist. So I'm pretty sure that over the course of 10 to 15 or 20 years, people who are stuck in these behaviors, they take them on for good, and then those become so much a part of your personality or your ego identity, that after 20 years it will be very very difficult to get rid of them. So yeah, so at this point, if you check yourself and Oh, yeah, and by the way, I feel like a lot of female covert narcissists who are in their uh, late 50s or 60s have at some point been uh, have at some point been codependents, especially especially females, I would say, and a lot of the males, maybe they had like an over dominating narcissist in their life and they had to become like that to stand up to the overt narcissist, and now they have taken on the behavior so much that 30 years down the line they are now themselves a malignant overt narcissist. So it's just that they took on these behaviors at some point in their life, but they didn't cast them off. When the time was, when the situation changed, they did not cast off these behaviors, they kept them with them. So that's what I feel, because I see a lot of the older generation are narcissists, overt and covert. So yeah, so at this point, at this juncture, if you see these behaviors in yourself and you check yourself and you say that I am placing too much of my self-worth in other people's hands, in their opinion, in their behavior towards me, in their appreciation of me. Um, so if you realize that, that would be awesome, because then you can realize that why am I doing this? Who are they to decide my self worth? Who are they to decide if my idea is right or wrong? Who are they to judge me, basically? And if you have been behaving like an overt narcissist, you can ask yourself that why do I have to have everyone agree with me? Isn't it enough that I have this opinion? Why do I have this compulsive desire that I have to have everyone on my side? Am I not enough alone? Why do I need people around me? So, if you ask these questions to yourself and you start working on these, that would be really great, because then you can, get out of this cycle of narcissism and codependency, and you can make yourself an authentic, grounded individual who doesn't have to rely on outside stimuli to make yourself feel something. You become an independent individual with all who controls everything that he or she feels and how you behave in life. You don't place the remote control of your life in someone else's hand. Your life's remote control is in your hand now. So yeah, it requires some self-analysis, some self-love, and yes, it will disappoint some people in your life. And these disappointments might be because you have been a codependent and you have been giving too much, and now the people around you expect to receive all the time, and now you will say that no, enough, I will give you whatever is required, but the extra work that I was doing for you, I'm going to take that time back for myself. So you will have to make that change, and like how they got accustomed to you doing everything for them, similarly they will get accustomed to you doing the required things for them and then they will have to take care of the other things by themselves. And this will happen in time, and many times they might complain, but you might just have to tell them that I need time for myself too. You need to deal with some things on your own. And then if you have been an overt narcissist, I guess everyone around you would be happy that you're changing now. And if you are in company of another other overt narcissists, you will have to learn to let go, to let them have their point of view, and you have your own, because some kind of tolerance needs to be learned. If you I wouldn't even say tolerance, but it's just the idea that you cannot explain everything to everyone and expect them to be on board with you. Especially if there's narcissists involved, they are never going to be on board with you. And for that, you don't have to make yourself into a narcissist. Let them be. and you have your own opinion, you stick to it. You don't have to make others believe in you, because you believe in yourself. So that the self love and the self confidence is very important here. So yeah, so in this situation, you will know when to leave a situation if it is not worthy of your time. Um, I don't mean to say sometimes you will actually have to leave a situation if it's very malignant. But what I mean is, you will save a lot of time by not getting into petty debates and discussions and just having to prove yourself or your point of view again and again and again and again. You don't have to do that. So yeah, and then you will find yourself, when you start changing this pattern, you will start finding yourself in situations which are worthy of you and which are positive for you and which build you up instead of break you down. And then you will realize, once you are at that stage, you will realize, oh, I was just wasting my time over there, because they are like they just would not have understood ever. And it takes some time to get that understanding that they are never going to understand. So yeah, so basically you will be sitting at the driving wheel of your life, and there will be plenty of opportunities to help people along the way. So only when you have helped yourself and built yourself up physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, will you have the strength to be of service to others. Because if you can't help yourself, you really can't help anyone. You can pretend to help others, but there will come a point when you will kind of break down, because it will be too much for you, because your own mind body complex will be crying out for help. So, the best thing to do is first to strengthen yourself, first to help yourself. And that is not selfish, because you are helping yourself so that you can build yourself up and then be help to others, be of help to others. So, it's not from a selfish perspective that, oh, I'll build myself up because I want people to look at me, or I want people to appreciate. That's just false building up, because again, you're placing everything in the people's hand. So you have to build yourself up from within, so that you know you are this, and then you can be of service to others. And if no one appreciates you, no one, it should not matter, because you did something to help, and that was your intention. Your intention was not that, oh, people should see me and people should appreciate how much I'm doing for others, because that's then you have not built yourself up completely yet. So you have some more work to do. um, so yeah, so this is a process that is a lifetime process. It cannot happen in a few months, or even if it does happen and you reach this sweet spot, there's bound to be something in your life that's going to rock the boat again. And then you have to again align yourself with this in this sweet spot. And so many things are there in our life, like the people we live with, our job, stability, natural calamities, so many things. Like some of your loved ones might die, someone might be born, so many things are changing. So it is difficult to stay in that zone of balance, but that's what we strive for. So I have come to this conclusion time and again, and how many ever times I have thought about it, that life is really all about balance. And the big lesson that creation has is trying to teach us all, and I talk about some in my soul contract videos. So one of the soul contract that we all have to learn is how to balance, because it's so difficult living in this world where you have a job, you have a family, you have your own passion of things to do. Like my passion is writing these videos and making these videos, and no matter how busy I am, I want to do this, and it's what gives me a lot of like fulfillment. So So we have all of these avenues. Then we have social service, we want to do something for the world that we are living in. Then we have the social aspect, so we have to meet, friends, other human beings, talk about some things that are happening around. So we have that desire in us to, like, connect to other human beings. So all of this together, along with your physical needs, and there's so many things. You want to eat, you want to eat healthy, you want to keep your house clean, and so many things. And it's so difficult to keep the balance. But I think that is what life is all about the balance. And we are always striving for that. And no matter what kind of discomfort you might feel in your life, if you really analyze it, it will always tell you, what that discomfort is trying to tell you is that you are a little out of balance. And basically that discomfort is telling you that, please balance again. If that was not a sensation, and if it was a text message that would come to your phone, then you would always keep getting text messages that, oh, balance, you have not eaten, so eat. So it's not that easy. We have to kind of interpret our own signals in our own way. And yeah, so I think life is all about keeping balance. And if you want to, make that transition to an authentic, grounded person, then balance is going to be of key importance in that. And so yeah, this was the video in which empowered codependents can turn into authentic, grounded people, can strive to become authentic, grounded people. Yep, so that was it. And I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thanks. Bye.